Hi, this is Sanjana from MOCAT, where you're mentored and coached directly by 99.9 plus percentilers. Now, when it comes to CAT, a lot of MBA aspirants will focus on the what colleges am I targeting, what resources do I use, what marks do I need. But equally important is the how. How am I preparing? How am I showing up every day? And today, I am going to talk about 5 key mindset shifts that can completely change your preparation and the score that you walk away from. This could potentially be the difference between scoring a 90 something percentile to a 99 plus percentile and getting into a top B school. So let's dive right in. This first shift is essential because you might be obsessing over finishing every topic, especially in quant, or you might be thinking, I have to come very close to finishing the syllabus before I even take up mocks. Both are wrong. Should you finish the syllabus? Probably. Do you need to get a 99? Not really. And that's because you have certain topics which have a disproportionately high return. By that I mean topics like these, where you get a substantially high number of questions. Just take a look. About 50% of the topics is what is giving you such a high number of questions. So these are the ones that you have to tackle first, and you got to start taking mocks even before these are done. Remember, it's not about blindly covering more. It's about preparing better and solving better. Focus on the concepts, take up mocks quickly rather than prioritizing completion. By the second mindset shift, I don't mean that you don't have to work hard. You definitely have to, but just that is not enough. See, when it comes to the real world, managers are going to be working in companies where you will never have unlimited resources. Either you'll have less money or less employees or less time or some other issue. And that is something that is replicated in the CAT exam with things like negative marking, constraints where you're going in a certain order, and most important, the time that we get to finish the paper. In fact, nobody finishes the paper, right? So even at the preparation stage, you got to have a plan, utilize the time well, preparation, practice, as well as mocks and analysis. The analysis is what is going to help you understand where you're doing well, so you double down over there. What mistakes are you making that you need to avoid, and so on. So having this strategy is something which will go a long way, because the CAT exam is not just a test of effort. It's a test of decision making and confidence as well, just as the real world is. Now, with 5 months to go for CAT 2025, if you want a plan, just put the word plan in the comments and I'll share a couple of them with you that you can use and customize. This comes because a lot of CAT aspirants might start preparation with a stack of books, some friend has some printed material, or people start thinking, let me just start by solving questions. This is something which is especially because 2/3 of the CAT syllabus is English and maths, and this is something that we have studied for years. But here's the truth. The way the CAT exam is structured is very, very different. It's not just about knowledge. It's not just about rote memorizing formulae. It's about concepts and, crucially, how you apply it and which questions are you choosing. You got to have this conceptual clarity. RCs in CAT are something which are very different from what you've had in school. So you have to read and practice them the right way. DILR is something which is completely new. It's not something that the typical MBA aspirant can crack without understanding the different types of cases, how to approach them strategically, how to choose, and so on. So you need to have the right tools. And what are the right tools? Preferably video lessons for the concepts, some form of mentorship or guidance by people who've done well in this exam for strategies. These are the two most important things. If you prepare the right way, then you're going ahead confidently, you're scoring well, even though there are 5 months left. If you're taking CAT 2025, then the CAT exam has to be a priority for the next 5 months. By this, I don't mean that you have to give up sleep or college or work. But beyond essentials, the CAT has to be the most important thing. You've got to ask yourself, can you give 100 to 120 days of the 150 days that are left? This is not the time to sign up for every profile boosting course, study for 2 other unrelated exams, or try to juggle multiple things at the same time. Essentials like work, health, some close friend or family members getting married or something like that, those stay. Everything else takes a backseat till your CAT prep. So remember, CAT cannot be a side project if you want to crack it this year and get into a top B school. Treat it like your main goal. At the same time, that doesn't mean that all your hopes are pinned on CAT. That's a natural thing to do because it's an important exam and it happens once a year, and it can really determine our career to a large extent. But ironically, that is what puts too much pressure and can result in a performance that is not commensurate to the effort that you have put in. So remind yourself that CAT is just one exam. You need to have at least a plan B. Once you have a plan B or probably more in place, then you're walking into the exam calmer, more confident, and that is how you will end up doing well. So remind yourself CAT is important, but it's not your only shot. And if you want more suggestions on what your plan B, C, and even D can be, then check out this video next. Or if you're clear on that, then jump onto mockcat.com and start your preparation right away. All the best.